Hello, hello. Well, welcome to the Hope Social Workshop, all about happy hormones. This evening, you are in for a real treat. So, little piece of encouragement. I want you to go ahead. I want you to grab a notebook, grab a pen, open up the notes app on your phone, whatever it takes, because I guarantee you are going to want to take notes on what is shared this evening. So, if you don't know who I am, my name is Nicole Perez. I have been in the women's health and wellness world for 19 years. I've served as a midwife, as a doula, as a childbirth educator, as a lactation consultant, as a nutrition coach. I've worn many, many hats in this field. And I'm very, very passionate about empowering women, about educating women to be their own advocates, to really take ownership of their own health. And all of the ladies who are sharing tonight have done just that. These are empowered, brilliant women with a heart and a passion to help you on your own journey to balance hormones. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to our first presenter this evening. Allison not only is so full of wisdom and knowledge, but she literally walks the talk. Well, kind of runs the talk as well. Last year, fun little side note about Allison, she ran 600 miles and walked an additional 600 miles. So, as she is talking about taking care of yourself, as she's talking about this healthy lifestyle, know that she is living it. So she's going to start us off and she's going to share just a little bit about the endocrine system and what it means, what it looks like to support it, and all those things. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get Allison going and have her start sharing.
Hello, hello. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We are so excited to talk with you a little bit about hormones and kind of crack the code on our elusive endocrine system. Sometimes hormones and our endocrine system get a bad rap as being something kind of mysterious or hard to understand or regulate within our body. And hopefully, the information you hear tonight will help you with that and help make hormones a little bit easier to understand as well as improve within your body. I hope everybody grab a glass of fix to kind of unwind after your day. Maybe a pen and some paper. You're definitely going to want to take notes. And also feel free to take screenshots or take pictures with your phone if you're watching on a laptop so that you can have some of these slides to refer to after the class is over. Okay, let's dive in. Hormones play a vital role in maintaining the overall health of our body. These tiny but powerful chemical messengers are produced by our endocrine glands and are responsible for regulating so many of our bodily functions, from growth and development to our metabolism to our reproduction, and yes, our moods. When hormones are balanced, our bodies function at an optimal level. But let's talk about what happens when they're not functioning well. What happens when there's no balance? What triggers our body to go completely out of whack? We'll start there. It almost always comes down to the things listed there on your screen. We can look at imbalanced blood sugar, a burdened liver, stressed out adrenals, poor sleep, toxicity, which there's a lot of in our world today, as well as malnourishment, which is vitamin or mineral deficiency. I don't think many of us consider ourselves malnourished, but you might be surprised. There's a lot of malnourishment in our society right now based on the chemicals, preservatives, dyes, things in our food, and the vitamins and minerals that are not in our food. When we struggle with one or more of these things, our HPA axis identifies these as threats to our body and is activated. What's the HPA axis? I'm so glad you asked. Let's dive into that a little bit. Our HPA axis is our hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, say that 3 times fast, and is one of your body's most vital networks. Our HPA, again, that's how we're going to talk about it right now because it's just a lot easier. It's a complex feedback system that plays a crucial role in regulating the body's response to stress. As you probably guessed from the name, the HPA axis consists of 3 main components: our hypothalamus, our pituitary gland, and our adrenal glands. You don't necessarily have to experience a major stressor or trauma to have a fight or flight reaction. Your HPA axis can be activated when you exercise, get startled by a loud noise, or have a drop in blood sugar. It can also get activated when your body recognizes foreign invaders like a virus, bacteria, or again, prevalent toxins. When your HPA axis is overactivated from chronic stress or disease, communication fails and it affects your adrenal function. So why is all of this important? Because again, our HPA axis is our primary form of hormonal communication. And we all know how dangerous things can get when communication breaks down in almost any scenario. When things get out of whack, our bodies will protect themselves. But the way it does it is very interesting. So, our reproductive health is not necessarily required for our individual survival. So, that's the first to go. When our bodies are trying to save or protect themselves, our reproductive function struggles. Our bodies don't fight to stay in a state of hormonal homeostasis with balanced progesterone, testosterone, and estrogen. When that happens, we end up with the symptoms you see on your screen. We have infertility, we have irregular periods, we have unexplained or unexpected weight gain or weight loss as our body tries to cope. We experience depression, anxiety, fatigue, insomnia, low libido, changes in appetite, digestive issues, well as hair loss or hair thinning. So how do we take control of this? Don't worry, tonight we're educating on these often overlooked problems and bringing some solutions too.
My goodness, thank you so much for sharing, Allison. Now, you may have, I'm sure you learned something new from Allison, but a lot of women don't understand how our hormones are connected to every other system in our body. Like, sure, we hear about like mood swings and irregular periods and all that, but a lot of women don't know that unstable blood sugar or even digestive issues can be a result of imbalanced hormones. So again, I hope you learned something new. And you're just taking lots and lots of notes because, like Allison said, that was just like the 30,000 foot view of what is happening inside of our bodies. But up next, we are going to hear from Julianne, where she is going to help us take a deeper dive into what it looks like to have balanced blood sugar and how we can balance it. So, Julianne is not only beautiful, but she is brilliant. She is passionate about helping other women take control of their health and wellness. And she is like the go-to person in her circle of friends when they want advice on anything health and wellness. So tune in, listen up, because what Julianne has to share is super valuable. Okie dokie. Let's see here. And here's Julianne.
Good evening, y'all. I am here to break down for you guys the importance of balanced blood sugar and how it can affect our hormones. I am continually fascinated by how deeply connected different hormones are to our physiological responses. So, we're going to touch on stress. Unmanaged stress can very often lead to insulin resistance. And here is how. Chronic stress causes chronic production of cortisol. Cortisol affects the way the body produces insulin, and insulin plays a critical role in maintaining balanced hormones in the body. So let's dive into this process a little bit more and bear with me because we're going to get a little sciencey, but I think this matters in us understanding how our bodies are working. Insulin is a hormone that is produced by the pancreas, and it is responsible for regulating blood sugar levels. When we eat, the carbohydrates in our food are broken down into glucose, which is then released into the bloodstream. Insulin helps to transport glucose from the bloodstream into our cells so it can be used for energy. We need this cellular energy to perform all bodily functions. So insulin is like a little key that unlocks the door to our cells so that glucose can enter. When we have insulin resistance, which can be caused by stress, as I mentioned, it's like a key getting stuck in the lock or that lock getting jammed with the sugars. So our cells are communicating that they're missing glucose, and our pancreas then tries to come to the rescue and it keeps producing insulin. But because the doors are jammed, it builds up in the bloodstream. So those high insulin levels can lead to imbalances in the body, metabolic disorders, and you guessed it, imbalanced levels of key hormones like progesterone, testosterone, and estrogen that are essential for our reproductive health. So balancing blood sugar is extremely important. All of these functions working properly is extremely important for our overall well-being. So let's look at a few tips for balanced blood sugar. So first of all, make sure you're hydrated. These are going to seem like simple tips, but just because they're simple, just because we've heard them before, it doesn't mean that they are any less important. So, okay, make sure you're hydrated. Hydration is important for maintaining healthy blood sugar levels. When we're dehydrated, our blood becomes more concentrated, which can lead to higher levels of blood sugar. And make sure you are drinking quality, clean water or sources of structured water regularly. Okay, eating in frequent intervals is also important. We want to focus on eating fiber, eating whole foods, minimally processed foods. I cannot stress that one enough. Healthy fats and eating at regular intervals. A lack of vitamins and minerals in the diet can have a significant impact on insulin function and glucose metabolism. All right, we want to manage our stress, which is the overarching theme of tonight. Deep breathing exercises, going for a walk outdoors, journaling, and using plant therapies are very beneficial for reducing stress. This is a very important one, prioritizing sleep. One of the most important hormones that is affected by sleep is the stress hormone, cortisol. Cortisol is released in response to stress and helps the body cope with it. Cortisol is important and we are thankful for it. However, when cortisol levels are elevated for long periods of time, which it's not designed to do, it can lead to a range of negative health effects, including weight gain, fatigue, and mood disorders. Sleep also plays a crucial role in regulating other hormones, such as growth hormone, melatonin, and insulin. Growth hormone is released during deep sleep and it helps repair and regenerate cells, while melatonin is released at night and helps regulate sleep wake cycle. Insulin, which we talked a lot about, regulates those blood sugar levels and it is affected by sleep, as insufficient sleep can lead to insulin resistance, which is what we don't want. And insufficient sleep can lead to other metabolic disorders as well. A little plug here, because this is one of my favorite products that Alivea has, and it is not what our class is about tonight, but if you are looking for help with sleep, check out our BioRes sleep spray. It is frequency water. I highly recommend not using a melatonin supplement, as that can disrupt our natural production of melatonin. But if you are looking for something that has gotten people off heavy duty sleeping pills, check out the BioRes spray. You won't regret it. Okay, and last but not least, gentle movement. So prayer, stretching, playing with our kids, and gentle exercises like Pilates and walking, all of those things can lower cortisol and our blood sugar. Okay, the other thing that we can do after we do the foundational things, we will always emphasize those foundational things before talking about adding anything else into your routine, because like I said, they are the building block to having success with anything that you're supplementing with. On top of all of that, the other thing we can do is drink a fit before bed or in the early evening. I am obsessed with fits. And I noticed a huge difference for me in that witching hour, that 4 to 7 time after kids get home from school, before dinner, when the house just seems crazy. I was feeling calm, cool, and collected. I wasn't feeling as frazzled or just completely overstimulated. And bonus, all of a sudden, I noticed I hadn't had an evening glass of wine in weeks. It made me feel so good to have a beneficial option for this time of day that helped me sleep versus having like random wake up times after a glass of wine at night. I don't know if any of y'all experience that, or even a dull headache the next day. Nobody has time for that. So let's talk a little bit about the ingredients in fix. The first ingredient in fix is ashwagandha, but this is not the same ashwagandha that you might get Instagram targeted for. The ashwagandha in our stress relief drink has shown to have the highest levels of stress and cortisol reducing bioactives in the industry. Ashwagandha is an adaptogenic herb that supports that hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, the HPA axis, which we have already learned tonight, is responsible for regulating the body's stress response. Research suggests that ashwagandha may help balance blood sugar levels by modulating that HPA axis and cortisol levels. One study published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology found that taking ashwagandha root extract for 30 days resulted in lower fasting blood glucose levels in people with type 2 diabetes compared to a placebo group. And the study also found that the ashwagandha group had lower levels of glycated hemoglobin, a marker of long-term blood sugar control. Ashwagandha has also been shown to have anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Both chronic inflammation and oxidative stress have been linked to the development of insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. So super, super important qualities. Okay, and as if those weren't enough reasons to drink Fix, through a clinical trial that was published in 2008 in JANA, the Journal of American Nutraceutical Association, researchers found that ashwagandha reduced cortisol stress hormone up to 24%, lowered inflammation by 36.6%, reduced fasting blood sugar by 4.7%, significant reduction in overall measures of stress by 69.9%, reduced fatigue, lack of energy, reduced irritability, sleeplessness, headache and muscle pain. You can read. I'm not going to go through every single stat, but these are huge results from this trial. And it is why Fix is so important. Okay, one other thing I have to mention before we wrap up is Fix also has aloe vera acemannan extract. If this is your first call to attend and you aren't familiar with the amazing benefits of acemannan, we have an entire call dedicated to covering the incredible, incredible benefits acemannan has on improving overall health. There are 20 clinically proven key benefits. There is $100 million, if not more by now, of research on this molecule, over 700 peer-reviewed studies. It is a fascinating thing. And here are some key benefits for tonight. Acemannan provides the following. Acemannan helps lower inflammation and increases absorption of other vitamins, minerals by 200%. It is the highest level of nature's immune activating molecules to help reboot your body's immune function. It supports proper cellular function, all of those things we were talking about with the little keys and the doors. Acemannan can help with that too. And it also has antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral, and anti-inflammatory benefits. Research also showed that it helps activate and balance the gut. Okay, anyone else mind blown yet at the goodness of acemannan? See why we put it in all of our products? So to recap tonight, chronic stress causes high levels of cortisol. Excess cortisol affects the way the body produces insulin. Insulin resistance can lead to hormonal imbalances. So by keeping our blood sugar in check, we can keep our hormones happy. So grab this delicious pink drink and sip your way to less stress, less inflammation, and more balanced blood sugar.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So one of the things that I love most about our community and something that Julianne just shared, so we are all about lifestyle. So yes, There are some products that we love, but we're always going to give lifestyle tips and diet tips and nutrition tips. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to be surrounded by women who are passionate about walking this out, living this out, and being vulnerable enough to share, like, yeah, that glass of wine, like I was drinking it during like the stressful times at night, but I also realized that I was waking up in the middle of the night, been there, done that. Definite signs of liver toxicity, imbalanced blood sugar, and not getting into a deep enough state of sleep. And Fix has absolutely helped me with all that. So, speaking of livers, my friend Christy is about to share with us all about liver health, all about supporting our liver and what that means for our hormones. So to know Christy is to love Christy. Like, we will be talking about something health and wellness related, and she will like interrupt the conversation and be like, I have a study on that. And she'll shoot us over like studies. She is a researcher among researchers. And so again, like everyone who's sharing tonight, listen closely to what they're saying, because I feel like puzzle pieces will be put together for you and you're going to learn something major. So here's Christy explaining how liver health is directly connected to hormone health.
Hello, hello. I am Christy Boudreaux, and tonight I am going to be breaking down the importance of having a healthy and highly functioning liver for happy, balanced hormones. So let's dive in. As you can see on the slide, our liver plays a key role in bodily functions such as detoxification, metabolism and digestion, immune function, nutrient storage, blood sugar regulation, blood clotting. And for the purpose of tonight's call, our liver plays a huge role in regulating hormone levels in the body. When the liver is not functioning properly, it can lead to an imbalance in hormones, which can then cause a huge range of health problems. So let's explore this a bit more. One of the liver's main functions is actually to break down and metabolize hormones such as estrogen and testosterone. If the liver is not functioning properly, it might not be able to metabolize these hormones effectively, resulting in either an excess or deficiency of certain hormones. In addition, poor liver health can also lead to imbalances in our thyroid hormone. This can result in symptoms such as weight gain, fatigue, and depression. So hear me when I say you cannot have happy hormones and an unhealthy liver. If you're taking notes tonight, I would write that down. You cannot have happy hormones and an unhealthy liver. When the liver cannot filter properly, hormones end up imbalanced. This creates stress on the body, which almost always leads to inflammation. There is a huge connection between hormones, inflammation, and immune health. When our bodies are exposed to a source of inflammation like illness, inflammatory foods, toxins, our hormones spring into action. They relay messages throughout our body that trigger an immune response. Our immune system then uses energy and hormones to fight the source of inflammation. With chronic inflammation, our hormones don't ever stop their emergency response. This is a disaster. We need our body's hormones and proper inflammatory response to heal and deal with things like bacteria, viruses, injuries, and states of disease. We also need energy storage hormones like insulin and androgen, and energy expending hormones like cortisol and adrenaline for survival. Our inflammatory response is actually super beneficial when it's kept in check. When it's not kept in check, that's when we have problems. Hyperinflammatory damage is actually the root cause of almost every adverse health condition. For many women, inflammation is behind things like painful periods, ovulation pain, PMS, anxiety, and moodiness. So what can we do? How can we keep inflammation in check? We can eat an anti-inflammatory diet. This looks like choosing whole unprocessed foods that are high in antioxidants and high in anti-inflammatory compounds. So things like fruit, vegetables, nuts, fatty fish, and healthy fats. So olive oil and avocado. And while I'm talking about oils, ditch the seed oils. If you take away two things from this class, it's that you can't have happy hormones with an unhealthy liver, and that seed oils are literally ruining your life. I could teach a whole other class about seed oils on another night, but for now, just know that they are literally hiding in everything, even your kid's favorite healthy organic snack. So scan those ingredient lists and look for things like canola, safflower, sunflower, rapeseed, cottonseed oil, pretty much any oil that's not coconut, avocado, or olive oil, you just want to stay away from. This one change will help significantly lower your inflammation. Okay, exercise. Exercise can help reduce inflammation. We need to manage our stress. We know that chronic stress can lead to inflammation, so find ways to keep your stress in check. Work out, deep breathing, drinking fix, get enough sleep. Lack of sleep hugely contributes to inflammation in the body, so aim for 7 to 8 hours. This is a no-brainer. Avoid smoking and alcohol consumption. Both of these hugely increase inflammation levels in the body, and they also damage body's tissue. Consider supplements. So things like omega-3 fatty acids, turmeric, ashwagandha, ace-mannan, beetroot, ginger, all of these have anti-inflammatory properties that can help significantly lower inflammation. Okay, so along with everything I just mentioned, we can add limitless to our daily routine. So it's well known that beetroots have powerful detoxifying properties, and these can help support healthy liver and healthy hormones. So beetroots have something called betalains, and betalains are rich in phytochemicals that are proven to gently detoxify the liver and regulate glucose. What is not so well known is that beetroots also contain high amounts of pro-inflammatory sugars, and they're also high in oxalates. Neither of these are things that we want. So Alavea has something called Prolane technology, and this uses a patented extraction method to give you all of the anti-inflammatory defense of beetroot, but with none of the pro-inflammatory sugars or high oxalate levels. This is truly amazing. So this allows us to provide concentrated betalains that can help reduce biomarkers of inflammation by up to 47%, improve the feelings of energy by more than 120, fight fatigue, all of these amazing things. And most importantly, it can also suppress pro-inflammatory enzymes. So the other main ingredient in our limitless that fights inflammation is, of course, our patented ace-mannan. This supports our immune system's pro and auto-inflammatory responses. So to recap, a poorly functioning liver can't break down and metabolize hormones. A liver that can't filter leads to inflammation. Chronic inflammation means our hormones don't stop their emergency response. This results in hyperinflammatory damage, which is the root cause of almost every type of adverse health condition. So, what did we take away from the call? You cannot have happy hormones with an unhealthy liver.
Okay, so again, a ton of information here, not only about supplements that we love, but about lifestyle, oh my goodness, lifestyle choices that we can make. Because anyone, and I mean anyone, who tries to convince you or sell you on this idea that you just take one little pill, whether it's a birth control pill or whether it's a supplement, and it will fix all of your hormones, is being grossly misleading, because it's about lifestyle, it's about stress management, it's about sleep, it's about body movement, it's about releasing trauma, it's about so many other things, in addition to making sure that we're nourished. So, speaking of a pill, speaking of a supplement that is designed to help balance hormones, that is designed to bring the endocrine system into a state of homeostasis. Up next, we are going to learn about something called balance. My dear friend Robin will be sharing with us about how this supplement is great for men and women and people of all ages. Literally, once you start puberty, all the way up past menopause, balance has a whole lot of spectacular benefits that will make you feel amazing, will help you feel energized. I mean, I'm not going to keep going. I mean, I could. And a little bit later, I will share my experience with balance. But for now, I'm going to let Robin explain to you how it works and the wonders that she has experienced by taking balance. So give me just 2 seconds and then I will get Miss Robin up and going, and you'll have a chance to learn so many phenomenal nuggets. Here she is.
Hello, hello, hello. I get to chat about the endocrine system, so we are going to dive right in. The endocrine system regulates the production of hormones. Hormones are the chemical messengers made by our bodies that tell our cells or glands or organs what to do and when to do it. So hormones, kind of a big deal. They have a profound effect on our mental, physical, and emotional health. Hormones play a major role in controlling your appetite, your weight, and your mood. Typically, and in an ideal world, your body produces the precise amount of each hormone needed for various processes to keep you healthy. However, sedentary lifestyles, toxins, trauma, poor nutrition may affect your hormonal imbalance. In addition, levels of certain hormones decrease with age in men and women. And some people actually experience a much more dramatic decrease than others. So, how do we support our endocrine system? Several of these tips have already been mentioned in this workshop, but they are worth repeating for your overall health. Eat enough good protein at every meal. Regular exercise support your gut health. Lower your sugar intake, reduce stress, consume healthy fats, and don't forget that consistent quality sleep and how important it is. Now, prepare yourself to have your mind blown by statistics. 26% of men under the age of 40 struggle with erectile dysfunction. 33% of women over the age of 30 report little to zero sex drive. 47% of women currently are experiencing hormonal imbalance, and most women don't even know it. They just think that they've gained weight, they're all over the place, they don't feel good, crazy out of whack emotions. But it's hormones. And only 48% of married women want regular sex after 4 years of marriage. So that should make us all pause. But balance is a supplement for men and women. So you're going to hear me talk about some of the benefits of the ingredients in balance, and you're going to hear me talk about things that are specific to men and specific to women, because it's great for both of us. Balance contains standardized levels of the most scientifically validated natural molecules for supporting the body's ability to cope with the decrease in hormone production that are affected by aging, stress, diet, and environment. So all of that to say, balance helps balance your hormones. Balance helps with our brain health, our ovaries, our thyroid health, and prostate health in men. It balances all the things. So let's talk about some key benefits of balance. As we mentioned, it supports the body's endocrine system and healthy hormone production. It reduces symptoms of hormone-related issues in both men and women. It naturally supports the production of HGH, which is human growth hormone. Now, as a side note, we do not want to supplement with human growth hormone because that increases our risk for cancer. We want our bodies to produce our own HGH, and balance can help with that. Balance can also improve sexual function. So let's talk about the ingredients in balance. Now, some of these words are really big. I'm probably going to mispronounce some of them. Just have grace and we're going to keep going. The first major ingredient in balance that makes it so incredible is the diosgenin. Diosgenin is the active molecule found in balance, and it is a sapogenic, and it helps balance the levels of testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone produced in the body. The body converts diosgenin to hormones through a process known as steroidogenesis. This involves the conversion of cholesterol into various types of hormones, including progesterone and testosterone. This process begins in the adrenal glands and is regulated by several enzymes. One of the most important enzymes in this process is the aromatase enzyme. The aromatase enzyme helps slow down the conversion of testosterone into estrogen. Toxicity and unhealthy diets lead to estrogen dominance and low progesterone, but diastenin helps. Most women are estrogen dominant, and this is what will whack out our body. Diastenin supports the body's hormone levels and ultimately supports the body's defense functions against things like high blood pressure, high blood sugar levels, decreased bone density, hot flashes, night sweats, thinning hair, mood swings, adrenal fatigue, declining libido, and it reduces menstrual problems. Now listen to this. Balance has 16% diastenin, which is 33% higher than any other diastenin supplement currently on the next ingredient, red sage. Red sage reduces night sweats, reduces menstrual problems, reduces acne, and improves skin elasticity, discoloration, and texture, and it improves microcirculation. Next ingredient, L-arginine. L-arginine fights inflammation, aids in the repair of blood vessels, improves blood flow, improves blood flow in women's sexual organs, in men's sexual organs. I think you see where I'm going here. It's a really good thing for men and women to have increased blood flow. It also helps with HGH production, and it can help correct erectile dysfunction and male infertility. L-lysine. Lysine supports the production of protein to repair and promote the growth of cells throughout the body. It supports the production of enzymes and hormones, and it can help reduce stress-induced anxiety, and helps in the body's formation of collagen, and all the women rejoice. Lysine. Glycine boosts mental performance and memory. It improves nerves and neurotransmitter function. It can improve and enhance mood, and it can improve quality of sleep. Beta cyclosterol helps reduce symptoms of an enlarged prostate. Now, I'm going to mention many of you have heard of the Depends variable diapers. More men wear Depends than women. The reason is they have an enlarged prostate. Balance can help with symptoms of an enlarged prostate and keep your man at the top. It also improves sexual function, reduces symptoms of menopause, and naturally lowers bad cholesterol. And let's not forget Ace Man. These ingredients are amazing. And while each of these ingredients previously mentioned has their own validated health benefits, then combining Alabea AE or our Ace Man and with these powerful ingredients helps Balance achieve an even more phenomenal result. So I'm going to chat about that. Balance is amazing for men and women of all ages, but as a menopausal woman, I can speak to menopause. Before menopause, everything was great. Menopause hit, vaginal dryness was legit. No libido. My libido just tanked. And I wanted to do only all natural things. I did not want any synthetics in my body. So it got so bad that even my husband was researching online, and I was trying everything on natural that I could find. Nothing was even touching it. And then I found Balance. And I started taking 2 in the morning and 2 at night. And within about 60 days, I noticed the vaginal dryness had gone. When I once was using 6 pumps of oil to help, I now was using that. My libido was back. I was waking my husband up in the middle of the night, twice in 1 week. Balance. That was the beauty of Balance. And I am forever and ever grateful.
Okay, so there you have it. Y'all got to hear Robin's really powerful testimony there at the end. Short, sweet, but powerful, right? Balance is a remarkable product. And Robin's testimony is one of many, 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 many stories that I have heard about how Balance has worked for both women and men. One of my friends, Dina, who's also postmenopausal, has shared multiple times, as many opportunities I feel like as she has to share it. She talks about it because more women need to be willing to talk about it. And this is where, hey, quick heads up. If you have kiddos who are listening, you may want to put in some headphones because some of these testimonies, um, of course, they're like PG-13, but you may not want to explain some of these things to your kiddos. Okay. Anyway, but Dina hadn't been able to be intimate with her husband in 7 to 8 years because of vaginal dryness and so much pain. And within a very short time of using balance, 2 in the morning, 2 at night. Their intimacy significantly shifted. Their sex life dramatically changed because she was able to be intimate again. I have another really good friend, Stephanie, who again, like, or not again, I haven't even said this. My friend Stephanie wishes that she could be on tonight sharing, but she is working this evening. And so I'm just going to share this story for her. But she has shared this story in our Facebook community, Hope Social. So you can go and check that out there if you're a part of our community. But anyway, Stephanie was diagnosed with endometriosis at a very young age, had horrific cycles. At the age of 19 or 20 years old, she was put into a medically induced menopause because doctors weren't sure how to help her. And she started on balance with 1 in the morning, 1 at night, and Immune, which is aloe vera's most potent form of ace mannan. And she doesn't even know when her cycles are coming anymore. Her cramps have significantly reduced. Her flow is much lighter. All of the benefits that we've been talking about balance, she's experienced. In addition to that, her husband started on balance, and he was on blood pressure medication since the age of 25, and his blood pressure levels are now normalized when he started taking balance. So again, men and women. And then I have my own story that just kind of affirms everything else that's been shared up to this point. I too was diagnosed with endometriosis, polycystic ovarian syndrome, when I was 18 years old. And when I was 19, they put me into a medically induced menopause, which is way more common than a lot of people know because a lot of times doctors don't know what to do to help us. They don't know. Um, how to really address lifestyle and emotional trauma and stress and all of that. And so I do believe that they do their best with the knowledge that they've been given. But anyway, no one ever talked to me about that. No one ever talked to me about stress. No one ever talked to me about lifestyle. And when I met my husband at the age of 20, I was on 11 different prescriptions to not only help, with my hormones, but to try to balance my blood sugar. I was diagnosed as a pre-diabetic at the age of 22. They had me on metformin. I mean, I was just a mess. I was a total mess. And then I met a nutritionist who had me start challenging the modern medical system. And I learned how to support my health, how to take charge of my health. But to be honest, my hormones have always kind of caused this roller coaster for me. And then 13 years ago, I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune thyroid disorder. So fast forward to last August. I actually flew in to Dallas, and I was with Robin, who just presented, and I had started my cycle, and my cycle was by far one of the worst that I had ever experienced. At one point, I texted my husband. I said, "I think I need to go to the emergency room. This is just more, um, you know, bleeding than I'm comfortable with." And he's like, "Of course, like do whatever you need to do." It was really, really bad. At that point, my hair was falling out by the handfuls. I had bald spots. I mean, it was, my hormones were a complete and total mess. And so just a couple weeks later, I started on a balance, fix, limitless, and immune. I mean, I went all in with aloe vera products. And my next cycle that came around was significantly improved. I would say it was about 50% better. I was still having some cramping, but I noticed that my hair loss had significantly reduced. My blood flow had gone down quite a bit. And by my second cycle, while taking the aloe vera products, I remember doing like a voice memo to Robin and a small group of women being like, I didn't know that a period could be like this. Like I knew because of my background as a midwife, but like for me personally, I think I had just kind of resigned myself to always having some level of imbalance and having to be very, 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 very strict with what I eat, what I drink, my lifestyle, which I had to be. a little bit hyper vigilant. Otherwise, I noticed all of these changes. 3 months into starting aloe vera products, my cycles went down to about 3 to 4 days, were very light. My thyroid literally was within normal range, and not just normal, but at a very, 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 very healthy range. Significant difference in the color of my skin, inflammation levels, even like things that I'm like, I didn't think I cared about until I saw a huge difference. Fine lines around my eyes. I used to have a pretty sharp line between my eyebrows. I've had no fillers, no anything done. Anyway, just significant difference. I turned 41 last week. And my husband, for the last few months, like, you are aging backwards, because I'm addressing nutrition from the inside out. I am just really taking care of myself, nourishing my body, and making sure that I'm living this lifestyle and walking all of this out. So, just a big, big testimony to how well these products support our overall well-being. And like a little side note, imbalanced blood sugar has been a huge issue for me, like huge issue since I was a teenager. And I know that Julianne, everybody touched on it, but there is so much research done on ace-mannan and how it affects those who have diabetes, how it helps balance blood sugar with collagen production. There's so much research. It's almost $200 million worth of research done on ace-mannan. All of our products have ace-mannan in them. Okay, so I do want to just share one more thing with y'all about this beautiful company, aloe vera, what it means not only for our health, but what it means for people's health around the world. So here, 2 seconds. Here, if you take a look, aloe vera, our foundation, what we are all about is the hope movement. We are a social business 3.0 company. So you've probably heard of Tom's Shoes or Warby Parker, where when a consumer buys a product is sent to a person in need. So that is what we do here at aloe vera. Every time we take an aloe vera supplement, whether it's Balance or Fix or Immune, or Limitless or whatever, like the wide variety of products that aloe vera has, a life-saving serving of ace-mannan is donated to a malnourished, immunocompromised child in need around the world. So what does this really look like, and what difference are we really making? So I just want to share with y'all that our founders, Sam and Linda Castor, they're just a beautiful couple. They have adopted 5 children from around the world, and they were working closely with an orphanage in Romania. And the workers at the orphanage were telling Sam and Linda that one of their biggest needs, one of the biggest heartbreaks that they experienced in the orphanage, they were having anywhere from 37 to 40 children die every single year because they were immunocompromised. And Sam and Linda knew about ace-mannan, and they began to supply this orphanage with ace-mannan, with the hope boost that you see here on the screen. And over the next year, every child who had access to ace-mannan lived. Like I said, 37 to 40 children were dying every single year. And over the last 10 years, not a single child has passed away because they were immunocompromised. So not only is this ace-mannan saving the lives of children around the world, but it's transforming lives here, the lives of consumers and customers who are choosing to take charge of their own health and wellness and get this powerful compound into their bodies. So again, when you take a serving of Fix, Limitless, Balance, there's a serving donated to a kiddo in need. When we are talking about balancing our hormones, I highly, highly, highly recommend getting on a 90-day protocol or going through 3 menstrual cycles of supplementation, of lifestyle changes to see if it's really working for you. And of course, we make no promises, but we have seen significant results. So aloe vera has something called Flexship, where you can get 10% back in points. of all of the purchases that you make, which just allows you to get a pretty hefty discount on your future purchases. So that's definitely something to consider when you go in to share. Okay. Or sorry, going into purchase. All right. So again, you heard the stories, you heard um, the science, you heard all the lifestyle tips. And I just want to invite you to get with the person who invited you or sent you the link to this call, and ask them how you can get these products, how you can get started with this truly life changing and life saving, zero exaggeration there, protocol. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for hearing us out. And if there's any way that we can serve you, walk alongside you, link arms with you, know that we are here. We are a community dedicated to helping women walk out their purpose and feeling their absolute best. So thanks again for joining us, and we'll talk soon.